So it turns out that when I get done, I won't need glasses, but that we're a little ways away from that. So, yeah.
It's amazing not having glasses, though. I'll tell you that.
Oh, I when I had the LASIK, I went from being a glasses wearer to not, and my gosh, that was so excited.
I just had my LASIK checkup last week, and I am 2015 still.
Oh, that's what I was. I loved that. That was so awesome, going from wearing glasses to 2015, and it's like, oh, is that an anteater across the field?
But ultimately, John, you are doing better, correct?
We're doing better, and it's going to take, unfortunately, another probably 2 to 3 months, and it's going to mean that I'm missing either NAM or mobile bead. Because I have to have one more major procedure on the left eye, which will mean I can't fly for about 8 weeks, and I have to put it somewhere this winter/spring. So,
wow,
yeah, it's just kind of a bummer, but.
Well, I'm glad you're doing better, and you are in all of our prayers, even for all the atheists here. They'll just get over it. Oh, wait, no, this is not the offensive show. I keep forgetting.
I know.
That's the other show.
Yeah.
So, John, speaking of shows, what's going on in Disc Jockey News?
It's a busy time. We've got the 12 Days of Christmas coming up here, which December 1st through the 12th. We do every night. We're giving away another prize that has come from our sponsors. So we've got that, and then we're getting ourselves ready for 2017. That's just right around the corner, and you got to be preparing today for tomorrow's show, is in essence. So we've been
2017. Why is that coming up so soon?
You'd think we just, but those things happen.
That's crazy. So, all right. So we got some questions that are coming up. So let's go ahead and start with the questions. John, I'm just gonna because I can't, for some reason it locks up if I have multiple windows at the same time.
Yeah.
So I will just have you read the questions whenever they come in or whatnot.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just trying to figure out how to, because I didn't do the stream with a preset. I'm trying to figure out how to get to that video. There's the player.
Oh,
where's the Where's the chat? I'll figure this out.
What's funny is the rant show. We're also going to be giving away prizes.
Nice.
Yeah, we're gonna be giving away a personalized "Go F Yourself."
You took my present for my wife.
Yeah.
Plus an awesome stool for DJs to sit on. So, all right, let's start with the questions, guys, before we start losing people and they start putting the thumbs down. All right, so let's see. When are you guys getting to? Anthony asks, when are you guys getting to Vizzy BSWs? No, I don't want opinions. Well, too bad. I just want you to know when, or I just want to know when they are coming. Okay, well, when they're coming out and when we're getting them are two completely different stories. I don't need the Vizzy BSWs as of the moment. If you guys are not familiar with this moving head is absolutely amazing. Long story short, it's a hybrid moving head, but instead of using something like a 16R lamp, it uses like a 300-watt LED. It's insanely powerful, and it's a really sharp and focused beam, which was really unprecedented.
And it burns
lighting before. Yeah, it does hurt. Guys, if you stare at the aperture and turn it on, it's gonna hurt. Me personally, I don't know yet when I'm going to get them. When they're coming out, can't tell you. I mean, I could, but I'm not supposed to. So unfortunately, I can't give you that information. Dane, John, I don't know. Are you guys doing a lighting upgrade? I know Dane just got the Focus 3s.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with those. I'll probably be buying even more of them here soon.
Yeah, my next upgrade time is going to be in the spring before prom, because I just did a lot of changes for prom 2016. With adding some lighting, so I'm a little ways out. My next big purchases are going to be, I'm getting doing the Denon, the 7000 controller for my mobile shows. The 8000, I love the board, but it's just a beast. It's a big thing. And
I just saw they announced it. Was that not the quietest announcement in the history of Denon DJ?
Oh goodness, yeah. Mm-hmm. Very much so.
What do you think of the 7000? Well, what 7000? You mean 8000? You mean 6000? No, 7000. I'm like, oh, look at that.
Yeah.
So let's see. Any updates on the dual ETX 18SP? This comes from DJ G Boy. So in the last episode, he asked about that. Somebody asked, "Hey, is EV ever going to make a dual sub?" So at that point, I had texted Mike Dussault from EV and Bosch, and he said that is something they have talked about, and that was an official answer that I was able to share with everybody. So I did talk to Mike at DJ Expo back in August, specifically about that. What is it called? The dual ETX 18 SP sub. Here is the problem that EV is facing. How do you take the two ETX 18s that each require, first of all, obviously their own 20 amp circuit to really function properly. But how do you take both of them, 2 subs, put them in a nice compact case, have an amp that can run on a single 20 amp circuit that's powerful enough to run both of them, and keep the price lower than getting 2 single independent, 18-inch subs.
Right.
Because if the dual 18 costs more than a single 18, then you get 2 single 18s. That way you have redundancy and you can do different things with your setup. So right now, G-Boy, that's what's going on with the EV or the EV ETX 18SP, a possibility of a dual sub. And that is an answer straight from the guys at EV and Bosch, because I did ask them for you.
And I don't think that's just an EV thing. Everybody's facing that when you're talking about powered speakers. It's hard to really do that.
Absolutely. That's why I don't think there is really a Yorkville double 18. You're looking more at the passive subs. There are a couple active, but yeah, you're going to need, 220 amp circuits. So that's fine. Either you're going to go into, a much different way to plug it in, or you're going to have 2 independent amps. And at that point, you can have some problems to really get in.
Yeah.
Just Lighting Solution asked, do you guys have experience with Arceus LED Master? What are your thoughts? Before I answer, have either of you guys used LED Master?
I have not.
No,
well, I've used it a little bit with you, but
yeah, that's the experience I've had is what I've watched you do.
So basically, Arceus LED Master allows you to run your lights with ClingNet, soon to be ArtNet. If you guys don't know what that is, make sure you check out the playlist where I explain all that. I've used LED Master, and I actually have some installs that have it. Honestly, as far as
Goodness.
Check one. That's a new sound. All right, well, that's the end of that show.
Ta-da-da.
As far as being able to control your ClingNet or ArtNet lighting as fast and cheap as possible with incredible options in terms of configuration and setup, yeah, you're going to love LED Master. And GS, if you're not familiar with it, make sure you can go to Arceus' website and download the demo. However, when you go to purchase it, what is up? Wow, that's weird. When you go to purchase it, don't just buy it off the website. Call your dealer and ask for the ADJ distributor version for 2 reasons. 1, because every time I say that, an angel gets his wings. And 2, you get free extra content. So that's absolutely worth it. Trevor asked, how are you guys doing today? Dane, John, how are you guys doing?
Pretty good.
not too bad. I just drove 6 hours cross country. So
Ew.
Yeah. What'd you do?
I was out in Baltimore doing some work this all week and doing server upgrades. Drove home this morning.
Magic Mike 3?
Yeah. It's not supposed to be announced yet.
Oh, okay. Except Dane's is going to be Magic Wireless Mike. Trevor. Okay, Anthony, can we rant about the whole damn China industry at LDI? No, we're skipping that. Fox. Oh, geez.
Say that for the rant show.
Foxtown. What was your favorite mass shooting in 20 years? Hey, babe, are you Julius Caesar? Because I want to stab you with my... Yeah, we're banning this guy. What is up all these trolls coming from? And block user. Hey, guess what, guys? YouTube now shares IP addresses. So I won't tell you exactly what will be happening, but make sure you tune to my other channel called How to DOS a Private Computer. All right, so next one.
And on that happy note,
we'll do a live version.
Yeah, we're gonna do a live one. Do you guys remember that when what was it? Westboro kept telling Anonymous on TV, "You're not gonna be able to hack our website. It's protected by God."
Oh my God!
Listen, I'm a man of faith, but God ain't gonna protect your website. And Anonymous hacked it right then and there. Well, we're gonna have the DJ version of that happening real soon. All right. So Thomas Dean asks, "I want to know how you organize cables." Oh, this is a good question. How you organize cables for transport to and from medium or large productions? As in, what do you store them in, and what do you use standard road cases for your lights? Do you have another solution? Let's start with the cables, because I really think that's a great question and something that everybody does differently. John, Dane, which one do you guys want to go first? I just snapped myself.
I can go. So as far as cables go, I've got a couple of those black and yellow. I think they're from Home Depot.
Stanley!
Yeah. Yeah. They're awesome. And I think I got them on sale at one point, like $5 a piece. But I got like 20 of them. So what I do is I put dividers in the middle of those, and I put one size DMX cables rolled up on one side, the other on another, and I have each one labeled for separately. So I've got one just for DMX cable, one just for XLRs, one just for power, and I pretty much use that. I actually store most of my cables in that, even when it's in storage. And then that way I can just open up the top, grab the ones I need out, and I've got extra bins that I can do for smaller shows like that.
Nice. I steal from PSAV. I'm just kidding. Like, I'm just gonna put that 4 schools logo right over those 4 letters. No, John.
See, I don't do as large a production as what you guys do. So mine, I just basically have the different totes similar to what we bought action packers, Rubbermaid action packers, which were a very durable tote back in the day. And you have the XLR version. We've got the power cord version for shorter runs, the 25-foot and under runs. And then we've got the larger tote that has the 50-foot runs of the heavy gauge cord. And the biggest thing, and I don't know if you guys are going to get into that, but it's the wrapping of those cords and how to do that properly when it comes to managing of cords. I think that wrapping and how you manage them that way really is almost more important than a lot of the other aspects of it.
Yeah.
And with that being said, I don't do it right. Jeremy Landby, every time he and I work together, he basically is like, "You're doing it wrong." It's like, yes, I know.
Yeah, we have a few people work for us, so we have to go back and rewrap everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm definitely with Dane. I get the Stanley boxes or even the Husky, and I love them. Except wheels. Those wheels snap like crazy. And it's not just DJs. I've seen like actual production companies, even concert companies, like the big guys use those boxes. You know, and I mean, obviously the proper answer is you get a gang box, aka a giant heavy ass road case. But that's not going to fit in an SUV. That's not going to fit in a cargo van. So I do use the Stanley boxes. I find they stack a heck of a lot easier. As far as how I have them organized, me personally, I've got my big two or three wire boxes. I have data and power. And yeah, we just get the Velcro stuff. You know, the right way of doing it really is like, remember when an ADJ or even a Reba, they still sell them, but the free Velcro wraps.
Yep.
Those Velcro,
I've got like 200 of those.
yeah, same here. So
and then I use them to wrap the cords to the truss too.
Every time there's an ADJ open house, I just find a way to get into the back of the warehouse because they've got like a whole graveyard of these things. I'm like, whoops, I should not have said that out loud.
Yeah, no, not so much.
I'm going to get a message from Alfred. Arnoldo, we are missing a lot of Velcro straps. You know where they're at? No, but Dane does. No. So, I mean, but the problem with those is that they don't have a loop that actually holds the cables. So if you go to Walmart over like in the electronics section, they have these little Velcro straps that have like a little loop. So you can loop the first part under Velcro and then it just stays on the cabling. So I just put one on each cable. We wire them up and you're good to go. With my crews, my operations guy tells them if I have to sit there and wrap up cables, we're going to pull the money out of your paycheck that it costs to pay somebody to wind them up, or your ass can come back to storage. We gave you the cables wound up and we expect them wound up. Things will happen though. Cables will always, fall apart as far as, the Velcro. We used to use like I forgot what the hell they're called, but they're like plastic clamps that would actually lock in. So they look up and they actually lock in. Those things break. I have never, I've lost so much money. The company lost money just using those. So I don't even use those anymore, but Velcro, Stanley boxes for sure. We used to have, cabling with the lights individually. Like we'd have a IEC or an XLR and DMX, and it just wound up being a much bigger hassle than it was worth, especially with an inventory. The big companies probably don't inventory cables. We do because I'm cheap. And these cables are not.
Me too.
We literally count everything. Like, I've done trade shows with major companies and, of course, major manufacturers like ADJ, and they just have these gang boxes with hundreds and hundreds of pins. And, of course, they don't count them. I do. I'm like, 1, 2, 4.
My IEC extension cables, oh, my God. Every time we're done with a show, I've got to go sit there and count through every single one, make sure I've got them all because those things are like gold to me.
No, exactly. And that's why I'm really glad that Thomas brought this question up because I think this is one of the mistakes that a lot of smaller companies make. People don't realize how much money they lose in cables or lose with lost stuff to begin with. Yeah. So if you keep track of your items and you realize how much you lose from stuff that's left behind, and you may think, oh, I got everything. You may have done a walkthrough. I promise you lose something every couple of gigs. There's no way we don't because we're DJs and we're ADHD. Okay, so then his other part of Thomas's question is, do you use standard road cases for your lights, or do you have another solution? For me, road cases, either professional or built. Sometimes a cardboard box with tons and tons of duct tape until I can get a case made for.
I love that.
Sounds like my mirror balls.
Or a Reba bag, especially for my pars. I'm not going to put a pars in a road case. That's stupid. Because when you have like a cargo van, if you got your subs, and then you got like, another box, and you got this much room, and you can shove some uplights in there, perfect.
So So for me, when it comes to PARs for uplaying stuff, most of those I use the Stanley boxes. I can usually fit about 20 of them in a box. So those are great for that. And I can have face-to-face where they're not going to get damaged. All my movers and everything, though, I'm all flight cases for all that stuff.
Yep, absolutely. Real quick, jumping down for just a second. Randall says cheapest cable management is still to buy a reel of number 4 theatrical tie line. Randall's absolutely correct. People make these really tight knots.
Yep.
They're not experienced enough on how to make a loose knot, and then bam. So, but yeah, theatrical tie line for sure.
Definitely.
One last thing with the cable management is you were talking about the different totes and cases. This week, if you are looking for something for cables, Home Depot is going to have Black Friday this weekend, a really great deal on rigid stacking cases, the heavy duty wheeled, put the cart, out you go. Last year, I was that close to buying them for doing my cables, and I didn't do it. And this year, I'm actually going to go down and buy 2 of them, which is a too big and a smaller one up on top. And I'm going to get 2 of those because I happen to need to do a couple of different configurations. So,
and I would definitely say anybody who's thinking about buy rigid tools, buy anything rigid because they're about a mile up the street from me, so keeps my taxes low.
Let me. I'm just googling black rigid and tool, and I did not get anything what you were talking about.
It's there. It's.
Oh no, it's there.
It's
going from
it's
one.
Going to be a hot. It's going to be a hot deal. So add hot to that black rigid tool. Hot,
hot black.
You have to turn off safe search.
Hot black rigid tool. Yeah, see, it's going from one monitor to the other. No,
that's when you get all those good results, Tom.
In case you guys don't know why we don't have any sponsors for these shows,
there's a reason why.
Self-explanatory.
Okay, so continuing on, but Thomas, great question. Trevor says cable management. Oh, I guess that was to that. Okay. Foxhound, of course, was banned. Thomas says that Foxhound needs to be banned. Absolutely. G-Boy asks, another good question. What are your thoughts on DAS or DAWs subwoofers? Have you guys heard them yet? Or
oh yeah, I heard them at DJ Expo.
Yeah, those things pound. In case you guys don't know, I want to jump in this one before you guys do. I hate Yorkville. I hate the people of Yorkville. I hate their products, even though I used to sing, love their products. Their recent stuff has been crap. I keep having drivers are going one after the other, not because the drivers are getting blown, but because everything around the driver is falling apart. I've posted plenty of videos of that. For the longest time, I've wanted to see a Yorkville killer. The problem is that no self-respecting company is going to make a one-note wonder, not at a DJ price, right? So you have like the EV ETX 18, and it's a great sounding sub. It's not as loud as the Yorkville, but it definitely hits louder across more frequencies, just not those 2 or 3 that Yorkville did. Yamaha, same thing with their DXS 18. DAWs is really aiming at Yorkville by doing the folded horn. So I haven't had a chance to like A and B them versus the EV and Yamaha stuff. I know the DAWs or DS, whatever you want to call them. I know it sounds good. I don't know if it'll sound as good as the EV or the Yamaha because it is a folded horn and, you do have some limitations there. But I can tell you that with theirs, I didn't hear any distortion, even though it's the same type of design as Yorkville. So I'm really excited to see what they have out. They're actually down in Miami, and one of my friends has now become national sales manager. So like, hey, I'm going to take a tour of your warehouse really soon. So make sure you guys stay tuned on the channel for that. But I really think that now that they're kind of, they're bridging the market between DJ and full production company. I want to say at Infocom, they had a beautiful sound system. It was loud. It was gorgeous. It was $50,000 per side.
Yeah, I believe it.
If you guys really want to hear, I don't know when they're on tour or not, but if you go see Straight No Chaser, they're running a DAS audio rig. My buddy actually does their sound. And
oh, really?
Yeah.
Awesome. Was it at was it DJ Expo or NAMM? Where was it? John, I want to say you were with me where they were doing like demo. It was NAMM. Yeah, well, you were NAMM, weren't you, John?
Yep.
Okay, when DAS was doing their demo and you could hear it from like 5 or 6 aisles over.
Yeah.
Which, guys, it doesn't sound like a lot until you realize how big and how full NAMM is of people. The fact that you can hear bass from that far away or feel it, dude, that thing was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Oh shoot, who was it? Was it Shifty? They had a couple of great DJs performing there, but I really, like I said, keep an eye on that company because that's a company that's been out for quite some time. But in the last 5 years, they have really popped up more and more and more on the radar. And I don't think it's going to be long before they become one of the major players in terms of high-end DJ production company level sound. What do you guys think?
I think you're right there. The biggest problem they're going to have is being able to price things in the most DJ's price range, and that's just going to be because of the high end quality.
Yep.
Yeah, and be all hit that little bit lower market stuff that Yorkville has always done, where it might not be the highest quality, but it still meets their name. And I don't think they'll want to stoop that low. I mean, the profits, they can't get a price point low enough and still keep the quality, I don't think.
I've always been curious about that because EV, like for example, when they released a ZLX, the point was for EV to just become a powerhouse in terms of DJ speakers. In a market that QSC pioneered officially, but they've been sticking with the same damn speaker for the last 6 years now. EV came out, with a ZLX. It was a high-powered, great-sounding cabinet, but it was really cheap. You're talking a few $100 for each speaker. It makes you wonder how much money is EV making when these ZLXs do not fall apart. Most of the cheaper speakers, you expect for them to fall apart after a couple of years. I know people running their ZLXs after many, many years since the first time they bought them, and they still work like new. Dane, don't you want a pair of the ZLX?
Yeah, actually, right here. Coincidentally enough.
Same thing with Yamaha with the DBR, right? They created the DBR to be a lower end speaker, but it's lower end in terms of the actual cabinet, not in terms of components. So you still have a great sound coming out of it. You have a powerful amp, not as powerful as the DXRs, but for the mobile DJ that has that budget, they're not going to need something like a DXR or DSR. So the question is, can DAS Audi come up with something in that range? And like you said, Dane, is it going to be profitable for them? So it'll be interesting. G-Boy, really, I would say really keep an eye on the next 2 or 3 DJ and major trade shows, because especially now with...
I mean, they've come a long way in a short period of time.
Yeah. Especially with what I actually posted on Facebook, so I can say it. Tom Westbury, he used to work with Freed Sales, really great guy. He's now the national sales manager there. So,
oh, really?
Yeah, he got a sweet gig. Tom is a great, hardworking person. He knows everything audio. He's fantastic at audio, but most importantly, he knows what a DJ's needs are. So I think now that Tom's up there, we're going to see a lot of changes within the company. I'm excited about it because as somebody that loves Yamaha and EV, because that's the main 2 speakers that I use, I know it's going to, make them work even harder. Competition is a good thing. But when you get these 3 speaker companies aiming at the same market, we're going to see some major innovations for sure.
Arnoldo, I got a question that popped up over here when you get it over.
Yes, go ahead.
Bag end. Whatever happened to bag end? Do you remember that? You ever play with bag end stuff?
Bag end?
Bag end speakers.
Bag end? Yeah, I was always pronounced bag end. Whatever. I don't know what happened to them. The last pair I ever saw in action was a Mobile 2012.
Yep.
I haven't seen it in a while.
I don't know. I don't know if they went out of business.
No, they are still out there. I've checked for one reason or another. I popped out to their website on a few occasions, and they've got their latest generation. They just aren't hitting any trade shows anymore.
You know what I think it is? Is the same thing that, in my opinion, happened to Meyer. They were so sure that everybody used them because they were top of the line that they stopped doing anything creative or creative in terms of marketing, and other people caught up. I mean, when's the last time that we even granted, a lot of the guys watching the show probably don't do major productions, but if you know somebody doing major productions, when's the last time you saw a Meyer at a nightclub or even a concert?
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't seen Meyer in a long time, and Meyer does make a good sounding cab, but I think there's other companies out there hitting that market that have just as good of a sound for a third of the price point. And while you get what you pay for, if it's the same sound and you have good customer service and good product reliability, and it's a third of the price, you'd be an idiot not to go with that.
Yeah,
for sure.
I think you're seeing a lot of that in the entire industry. It's where for years some of those brands dominated the market, and bands said, "Oh, we have to have this." Now you're starting to see some of the cheaper gear that's just as good.
Yeah,
absolutely,
very much so.
Absolutely. Let's see here. Suggestion. Oh, this is a good question. Joshua asks suggestions on how to get to the next level of DJing. I remix for the major pool. Hundreds, if not thousands, of DJs are using my audio and video remixes. Yet I can't seem to book larger events. Josh, first of all, if you could tell me what kind of events you would like to do and what your DJ name is, because I'm really curious about that. This actually brings an excellent point to mind. You can be an awesome DJ and a bad business person. Now, Josh, I'm not saying you're a bad business person, but if you're not getting the larger gigs that you want, something's amiss. So if you are a talented DJ, but you're being outsold by other people, that means somebody's a better salesman than you. Or if you're not even getting to be the salesperson at those meetings, meaning you're not getting those bookings or meeting to book them, then you are not a very good marketing person. And that's fine, because everybody has an Achilles heel. Nobody can be excellent at everything.
Yep.
So that being said, you need to find out where your breaking point is. Are you not getting the calls? If you're not getting the calls, you're going to have to ramp up your marketing. Are you not getting the email or the sales? If not, you're going to have to ramp up your sales. So I can't really answer that question until we know where your breaking point is. So let us know. Are you talking about wanting to be a better salesperson, or you want to be able to better market yourself to get the opportunities for those larger gigs? The tradition, as far as marketing, I think the traditional methods are played out. You know, attend your chamber of commerce. Look, I attended my chamber of commerce, and you know what I got? I fell asleep. It's just boring. And a lot of those places are usually already established and clicky. And I'm not saying they don't work, but I haven't seen them work for me. At least with schools, the easiest way is to advertise directly to the end user, and that's students. At corporate, look for your nearest MPI or any kind of event planners meeting, and don't just show up and network. Actually try to DJ those things and rock the freaking house. If they tell you, oh, it's a laid back event, fine, be laid back, keep your music low, but keep your energy level high. Because if you can get the meeting full of all these planners dancing, then that's really going to, help you with your marketing as far as, look, this is what I can do. I hope you guys had a great time at this meeting, blah, blah, blah. If you think I can do that at this meeting, you should see what I can do in person. And then you can start actually, putting out a little bit more on yourself. If you can get these planners to follow you and you do, especially if you're, depending on what music pools you're DJing for, you may have streaming rights. I know like Jason Janak, because he mixes on XM, he has live streaming rights. So if you have those, that's definitely a great way to market yourself. But tell us where you're at, and then we can kind of go from there. John or Dane, anything you guys want to add?
I think one of the biggest things you were mentioning that if they're not good in some areas, that's okay. And I think the biggest problem we have as DJs, we want to be a DIY and we want to be able to do it all ourselves. And that's something that, as I'm getting older or I'm seeing more DJs, that sometimes you just need to say, hey, I'm not the person who can sell my services. And find someone who can sell me. I mean, if he's making mixes like that and he's got this repertoire or catalog, that shouldn't be that difficult that he goes and finds someone who could market and sell. And they may sell for twice the money that he could buy. He's selling his own services. So I'd really look at what you're doing and look at it honestly. Ask someone else that you can trust their opinion to come in and look at it. Find out where, as Arnoldo said, that weak point is, and bring someone in. If you need to do it, need immediate action, bring someone in who can do that for you. If you can maybe put it off for a while, maybe you can learn how to become a better salesman, but it's much easier to focus on what you're good at and bring some partner up with someone.
Absolutely.
And that's a prime. Good.
Dane, before you answer, hang on one second. He just answered. He wants to get into festivals and artist touring, so we'll cover that in just a second. You said your name is VDJJD. Same guy that did that Smack That remix years ago, because of dude, you my dude. Anyways, Dane, go ahead.
So John hit on it perfectly. Knowing your strengths and your weaknesses. Sometimes we can't all do everything, and sometimes it comes to partnering up. In my company, I'm a 50% owner. My co-owner actually does pretty much 90% of the sales. I am not a sales guy at all. I fully admit that. I hate sales guys for the most part because I deal with them on a daily basis. But he does a lot of sales. I once he gets the sales going and everything, I'll join in and everything. But I honestly don't think I could do it without him. Yeah.
No, absolutely. Okay, so real quick, Joshua just clarified. First of all, yes, he is the DJ, the DJ JD that did the Smack That remix. John, Dane, if you don't have that, I'll send you the link on Crooked and Clan. It's still one of my favorite remixes ever. So he says that he's talking about opening for artists and festivals, that he's grown out of mobile stuff anymore.
Okay.
So John and Dane's advice really still applies, especially finding somebody that's good at sales, a booking agent. For what
an agent in that situation.
You need a booking agent.
I think I might even have a guy he can talk to here.
Yeah. Okay, so let me tell you, I'm going to tell you a quick little story. I feel like freaking Kevin from Shark Tank for a second.
Yeah,
but I think we're all going to get something out of this. One of my DJs, when I first hired him, he's never big a day in his life.
You're dead to me.
Huh? Yeah. He's never DJ'd a day in his life, right? I picked out the guy because when he was singing karaoke, he seemed energetic. He didn't look like a meth head, and he was good on the mic. I'm like, this guy's going to make a great DJ. Good on the microphone, energetic, not a meth head. And in Florida, he's got all his teeth, which is a big plus. So, I mean, I ain't going to check their back ones, but who cares? So, anyways, long story short, had a hard time. This guy's a musician too. And it took a while to get him to learn how to beat mix. I went through a beat mixing session. It took me about an hour before it finally clicked. But he got the hang of it. And he was practicing and practicing, as we all do. But what he did is he started just basically posting everything that he did. He tried new stuff, and he did these little mixes, and he started posting them on Twitter. And he started posting, had a SoundCloud account. And he started building his viewership little by little. Within a year and a half, DJ G-Note, that's his DJ name, was signed on to T-Pain's record label. He was one of Nappy Boy's DJs. He had about 50,000. He's got about 50,000 followers. He joined a EDM group. He's no longer part of that group because they had creative differences, but he's starting a new group. And you're talking less than 2 years since I hired that kid. He was traveling around the world. He went from not knowing what the hell a controller was to going to Korea, the Philippines, Europe, like all these different places, DJing for these huge clubs, and then opening up an EDC. Freaking amazing.
Wow.
Why? Because his social media game was strong, and he knew it. I don't know what this kid does. He's a savant when it comes to it. He couldn't even really pinpoint. He's like, yo, bro, I'm just posting mixes, And it did. It also doesn't hurt that he had a booking agent, a manager that really helped him sign those deals. Guys, if you do not have an agent who's a good lawyer too, you're going to get screwed by the major labels. This has happened to everybody that I know. So, Josh, make sure if this is the route that you want to go, booking agent number one. John, I know you said you might be able to help him out with something
I
like
just
that.
sent you a link, Arnoldo, so I can't post it in your chat. It's on Facebook Messenger. That is Scott McCusker, is a booking agent that I actually interviewed on DJ and TV. A lot of the things that you're talking about, Scott, this is a guy who does it. He hires DJs and sets them up to do national tours and different things, and he was doing international stuff right now. So he'd be a good guy to start with to get a feel for.
Awesome. I just posted it. So again, Josh, great question. Maybe Josh, what I'd like to do is I'll talk to my DJ and see maybe I can bring him in. We'll do a live show on what he did, how he did it, and kind of go from there.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I think I would make an excellent one because I'm telling you, this kid at marketing is just fantastic. He focused on one thing only, and that was marketing himself and making good ass music and letting somebody else do the job of selling and booking. Guys, selling and booking are two completely different things.
Yeah.
Completely different. So one of them requires a lawyer. So if you don't have that and you want to do the big festivals, you're going to need a lawyer.
Yeah.
So let's see here. Let's go back. Hold on 1 second. Where are we at? Free swag? No, that's not it. Okay, here we go. Randall Stout asks, I see a lot of DJs purchasing video walls. Do you feel they are now cost effective enough to turn a profit with? Dane and John?
Randall could. Randall is I'm pretty sure this is Randall from the Dallas area. Yeah, Randall could.
Sorry, go ahead.
I think it really depends on your business. And if you can market and sell it, I mean, yeah, there are guys out there doing it and make good money, just like anything out there, just like photo booths or anything. Yep. They're not going to make money themselves. You still have to be able to, you got to
market and sell it. Yep, you're right.
Yeah, exactly. I'll tell you for me, because ADJ just released a new AV3 3mm panel. less than 1,400 each freaking wall, which is mind blowing. And the new AV6X, which has like mind blowing like contrast. I mean, this is beautiful, but I know I could make a profit out of it, but not the profit that I would want to make with the investment, not just in money, but I need space. I'm going to need bigger vehicles. I'm going to have a crew trained. So while I have a limited quantity of what I need, I wouldn't be doing a 20-foot wall at a high school dance because they're not going to pay for it when they're going to put that money towards lighting, lasers, trussing, something else entirely. I can't, I'm a good salesperson, but I can't say, hey, we can go this 20-foot rear projection screen, or for 100 times the price, we can do an LED version. What's the difference? Well, one's LED and there's no projection area, even though your gym is 3 times bigger than what we need it to be. So for me, for what I'm doing, no. But it doesn't mean that you cannot turn a profit, because I know right now that if I wanted to focus less on schools and go into the corporate market, or market to other DJs or anything like that, I could easily turn a profit with those screens.
Oh, easily in the production market. I mean, when we first started out, we did a lot of stuff for bands and concerts and stuff like that. And if you do that type of stuff, you could probably easily turn a profit with it.
But, like with my company right now, I'm the one doing all the sales. And I can't sit there and sell DJs, lighting, trussing, lasers, pipe and drape, decor, photo booths. I got to make sure to have a steady income on what I already have before I keep adding more stuff. Okay? If you're adding more stuff because the main stuff isn't making you money, you need to work on that first. But if you already have a good production company and you're ready for the next level, I mean, my goodness, you can get panels now for under $900 each. That's insane. Yeah. So good question, Randall, for sure. Let's see here. What kind, GS Lighting Solution asks, what kinds and types of trussing do you like and recommend? Global, F30.
Global. I'm a global too.
Yeah, global's, I think that's what I've got pretty much most of here. With that being said, though, it's interesting how so many knockoff companies are kind of knocking off the global gear. And yes, they fit together, and they'll work together. But there's just something where you design something and you send that down to them, and the guys put it together, and here's what it is, and off you go.
Pop quiz.
Ooh.
You guys ready for your question?
Okay.
Who was the first trussing manufacturer that hit this market first?
Well, you'd think it's a rigged question if he's going to ask it when we, global. But
it was global.
Really, they were.
Okay, so
especially in the DJ market, I mean, they were far ahead of everybody else. I mean, they were definitely one of the first.
Well, and
really get to that market.
Well, why do I have this dentist toothbrushing pick? I don't know why.
I don't know.
So, anyways, here's something interesting. Do you guys remember years ago when Toyota had that commercial? I think it was Toyota, where they said Honda compares their blah 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 to our Camry, and Ford compares their blah 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 to the Camry. Chevrolet compares their blah 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 to the Camry. So why not just get the Camry?
Yeah.
Right? You guys remember that commercial from a while back? Okay. Well, if you have brand over here that rhymes with Roex saying compatible with global trussing, and you've got this other brand over here that ends with Ide saying that they're comparing them, that they're compatible with global trussing, and if you got Chinese brand saying that they're compatible with global trussing, why do you think that is? So,
well, not to mention that if you do use those two together and you have an incident, well, your insurance company's gonna say, "Tough luck."
Check. There we go. This cable's going bad. So I'm going to have to call NLFX because this is an NLFX. So funny enough, guys, if a trussing manufacturer ever tells you compatible with, you never use that trussing manufacturer, you move on and never, ever, ever talk to them again because they just put your business at risk. As I already said, just because it fits together doesn't mean it should. So that sounded looked obscene. So here's what happens, right? You have your brand of trussing over here. You get your second brand of truss there. And let's just say that, it falls for whatever reason. It doesn't have to be hardware related. It could have just been that you're an idiot and you didn't put the pin in properly. Still, there has to be a lawsuit, or let's say that the pin broke.
And they can both deny fault.
Yeah, they're both going to say, nope, sorry, you used the item in a non-recommended way. What do you mean? Well, you're not supposed to connect this with another company. It's made to fit global. Global's made to fit global. You're not supposed to fit this brand with this other brand. And you could say, well, you told me that at a trade show. Do you really think their insurance company is going to go for that? So guys, if a trusting manufacturer tells you they're compatible with somebody else, move on. That's irresponsible. And if they're knocking somebody else off, it's probably for a reason.
Yeah, there's a lot of that.
Yeah, so definitely global. Now, as far as F-24, F-34, these are actually, that's actually been asked multiple times, and it's a good question. I use F-34 because I do long runs, 30-foot long runs in between, and I'm putting quite a bit of weight, ringing speakers and all that.
That's what we're doing.
My setups, I know the F-24 would work, but I don't want to sit there and mix and match truss types in my warehouse and all that. That's just too much to keep an inventory. And I've had some F-24, and I regret it, not because it's not a good product, but because I've got F-24, but now I got to have a different SKU than my F-34, and it's just adding more to it. So I use the F-34, which is the 2-inch square. They have the F-44, which is bigger, F-31, which is the triangle, F-23, which is the triangle, and F-33, which is the big triangle. But yeah, F-34 will definitely hold a lot more weight, and you'll be able to do more with it, I believe. I believe that's what you guys own too, correct?
Yeah.
I've got some.
So, and I want to say, is it Jeremy? Yeah, Jeremy has the F-34, right? The triangle truss. He uses quite a bit of that.
Lanby, he's got, oh, goodness gracious, he's got all sorts of different, depending upon his configurations. He had some triangle, but I think he's gone to box now with everything.
You know, he's interesting because here's a guy that from the way he carries himself, you would never expect he's got as badass of a company as he does.
Yep.
He's always quiet and humble. And then you see his Instagram's like, oh crap, like, look what he's got. Jeez, dude. You know, but I think what's made him so successful is because you see how much he's grown in the last few years is he never stops listening. You know, everybody else, I'm guilty of it. Like we're always talking and tell everybody else, hey, here's what we're doing. He's not. He's just there absorbing everything like a sponge.
Yeah.
But guys, next time you check him out on Disc Jockey News, go look at his Instagram. It's Undertaker DJs, right?
Something like that. Yeah. Yeah. Jeremy Lanby is who we're talking about.
Yeah, he's got some pretty sweet stuff. DJ G Boy asked, the text to video service you streamed, I forgot the name, it's called Jam Text. And do you pay per gig or is it pay per month? It's pay per month. And I don't know if they have a pay per gig. I can certainly ask him about that. Price per month is so minuscule. It's just the same as paying per gig. John Dane, have you guys done text to screen yet?
I have not. No.
So I did and I stopped because this is what I had at every dance.
You're just distracting them from what they should be doing.
Yeah. But what Jamtext really did that I really like is, I mean, they have integration with Instagram and Twitter Instagram and Twitter, and everybody's already in those services anyways. So now I can really ramp up my marketing because now I'm getting the phone numbers and screen names of everybody that was at the dance. It's fantastic. It's great. But yeah. And without trying to sound like Donald Trump, I've met the people there, wonderful people, great people. But no, it's a great service. If you guys haven't checked out Jamtext, make sure to check it out. Let's see here. Anthony says, don't hate on us Canadians. Anthony, we were not talking about Canada. But we will now.
Yeah, exactly. Bring it up. We can kick that dog.
Wait. No, this is not the rant show. This is
yeah, no, that's a different show. Let's see. Gus says, love my Princess Auto Velcro straps. Holy crap. There's a name I haven't heard in a while. Are you guys familiar with the Princess Auto Velcro straps?
No.
Let me see if I can pull it up.
Are those from the like one of those adult sites that you buy from Princess Straps?
Princess Auto, it's kind of like an O'Reilly. Like they carry literally O'Reilly. Dude, they came out of nowhere. Like they're all over Florida. But you know what I love about O'Reilly?
Ohio too.
If I need a 40 amp dual, like not a slimline fuse, nobody else carries it but O'Reilly. If I need a little, what's it called? What the fuck is that shit? The valve stem.
Wow.
All right.
Wow.
The valve stem for my freaking lawnmower. Guess who had it? O'Reilly. I love O'Reilly. And you know what's the best part of O'Reilly? They give you a little bit of nostalgia because these dudes still use dot matrix printers. I went and bought some stuff, and then when you want a receipt, yes. I'm like, is that dubstep? Am I listening to Kodak Black? So yeah, Princess Auto. It's princessauto.com. So but yeah, they have Velcro straps. Forgot about that because somebody had mentioned that before. So let's continue on. Trevor K asks, what model of par would you guys recommend for beginning uplighting? Mega Tripar Profile. Unfortunately, they're discontinued.
Plus. Mega Tripar Plus.
Which I think is also discontinued.
But I still love them. I've got about 30 of them, and I love them.
John, what say ye?
I'm a huge fan of the 5Ps.
Yep.
I've got I think about 30 of them in the other room.
Well, and I was going to say, well, the 5Ps though are pretty expensive, but they just dropped the map price on them. I think they're like $199 or something. That's under $200.
Yeah.
So I mean, for a dealer, you can pay for less. But what's great about the 5Ps, guys, if you're not familiar with Hex technology, you get red, green, blue, ultraviolet, white, and amber. Now you may say, well, I don't need black lights. Yes, you do, because that UV added, for example, with red, you're getting hot pink. Shades of pink you would never get with any other par cam.
Yep.
That's why I love my pluses, is because I can get that hot pink color that you can't get without that UV.
Absolutely. So are we all in agreement to 5P?
Yeah, it's definitely a favorite.
And if not, again, if that's not on your budget, look for the Mega Tripar Pluses. I still have Mega Tripar profiles. As a matter of fact, if anybody wants to get rid of theirs, and they're willing to let it cheap, contact me because I'm trying to buy as many of them as possible.
I love that. Yeah, I got a couple of those too.
Yeah, I've got dozens in inventory, but what I like about them is, they're cheap. Yeah, they're made out of plastic. But if my client didn't invest a lot in uplighting, they're just needing simple colors. Yeah, that's got the biggest ROI out of any par cam that I've used. Now,
and you've seen them. What I've used them for washes for.
Yeah,
they're great.
They make great. Heck, I used to use them as washers when they first came out too. Let's see here. So yeah, Princess Auto. Anthony just chimed in. It's a Canadian thing. The only reason I remember Princess Auto is because my neighbor used to be from Canada. And
so you're a Princess friend?
No, I've ordered from them too. There were certain parts that I needed they don't carry here. I don't know. Maybe just Canada has older cars than. Yeah, that's probably what it is. So let's see here. DJ G Boy asks, I still have he says that he's got a ZLX 12P still going strong. Ronnie says that traveling and trying to catch a live stream sucks. No Wi-Fi, keeps on buffering. Sounds like you've got T-Mobile. Let's see here. Vivid Sound Lighting asks, or actually, before I continue, John, do you have any questions?
We're good here. They're just talking about Mega Tries right now.
Okay.
Okay.
So Vivid says, I've had horrible luck with my ETX. I've had it send in my speakers and subs to be replaced. Vivid, if you could do me a favor, hopefully you're getting good service from EV. If you are not, if you can touch base with me or maybe even John if need be, we know the guys at EV and we'll make sure you get in with somebody that can help you out. Also, somebody actually posted above and I already forgot it. They said they were having problems with EV and they weren't getting back to them. Whoever that was, if you could just message me directly and I will get you in touch with Mr. Dussault and Mike will take good care of you. We'll figure it out one way or another. Let's continue on.
Arnoldo, before we jump too far, there's the customer service from EV. There's stories that we can't talk about that we have heard over the years, in the last probably 2 years, of EV going above and beyond in different situations because, as Arnoldo is saying, we know people and we can get you hooked up and such. And they've done some things that most manufacturers wouldn't do. Standing behind their gear. So we know that they do. But there's always times where you're not talking to the right person or a message gets lost in circulation. But there's numerous stories that we can't talk about in public, but when we're in private, we can talk about because they like to get the word out that they've got great customer service, but sometimes when they're going way above and beyond, they don't want to have that publicized. So anyway,
one of the things that they have an option for, I know they made a small press release on it, but I don't know if they're still doing it. I'm sure they are, was the advanced replacement program where my sub had just gone out. I bought one of the first ones and I guess something had happened to it. Like the whole magnet had cracked and they sent me one pretty much within a couple of days, and then I mailed the old one back in. When things break, they don't break before the event. They always break, right on the event, or, when you need it the very next day. And Bosch has gone way above and beyond. Same thing with, even with Yamaha. That's why I use those two companies exclusively now. Let's see here. Gus says that he's heard DAW speakers, going back to that conversation, and he loves the sound quality. They were priced a bit higher than the average speakers, but they had a lot of punch. No, they were priced higher than DJ speakers, but that's because they're not meant for DJ.
Yeah.
Gus, I think in the grand scheme of things, compared to other markets that they're trying to reach, they're actually pretty comparable. But again, they cost money because they do sound good. Anthony says that he actually sees Meyer in concerts. Half of his available rental cabs are Meyer. Yes, Anthony, but you're not doing Aerosmith, as well as Electronics and Adamson. I'm not meaning that to be a bad person. I'm just saying I've gone to concerts and I've yet to see Meyer, not in a long time. I do see a lot more L-acoustics now. A lot more, especially in clubs. I've seen a couple of clubs with the Rankins Hines or whatever, and I've never liked their sound. I don't understand it. More people using, obviously, what's it called? Oh my goodness, how the hell did I forget the name? The EV, the high-end line array. John, do you remember the name of it now?
Not the Phoenix one.
No, man, that's a good system though. But
yeah,
shoot, the one that Ben had in his video, or whatever. That's a serious monster right there. And of course, Nexo, which Yamaha distributes. I see a lot of those too. And guys, boy, if you ever want to hear a beautiful line array that's not going to break the bank, the M8s or whatever from Nexo, those sound awesome. Let's see. Thomas asked, where do you buy glow sticks? I reached out to the company you plugged in the Master School Dances videos. Sultan Supply is out of business. He retired. So right now I've just been getting them from eBay. In reality, all those companies come from the same place. They don't last more than 4 hours. I don't need them to. Pretty much eBay at this point, until, another good, reliable supplier can come in.
There's not many of those out there. Hey guys, I got to bounce. I've got to go get ready for Nick Harris is going to be coming on here in about 10 minutes. And we're going to be talking about his journey with projectors. He's been doing a lot of cool things with projectors. So
awesome. All right. Well, we'll be wrapping up soon, and we'll send people over your way. John, how can they find you? They
can go out to discjockeynews.com/live, and that will take you to the YouTube channel, which will then get you to the live show that will be starting here.
I meant in person. Like
in person, they can come up. They can go until they hit snow. And then they can find a lot of snow, and I'm just on the other side of that snow hill. But yeah,
I think I almost went through that today.
Yeah, that's when you said 6-hour drive. That's like, oh yeah, I went to town too, 2 miles away.
Yeah. John, thank you so much.
Hey, thanks. It was good being in.
To John.
oh, that's mean. I hate you, Arnoldo.
Guys, if you're on a diet, this is not what you should be having.
Yeah,
all right, John.
All right, guys. Thanks
so much. Good luck at your show. We'll be tuning in shortly.
That sounds great, guys. I'll bounce out here. I got to get the link over here. All right. Catch you guys later.
Yeah,